I've been asked several times to give some details on how Frank made the Zodiac Killer mask, so I'm going to do that today. He got a picture. Well, first of all, the whole idea for the mask came from my friend Junior, who lived across the street from me when I was 10 or 12 years old. He would come over to my house at night, and we would talk through the window until he got sleepy, and then he'd go home. And they approached him one night. They pulled a gun on him and some different things. I've told you about that before. But anyway, he on Halloween he came over. He had fashioned a mask out of a grocery bag, cut holes for the eyes and whatever, and he put an X on it on the lower part of the bag. Said something about Mr. X. He thought Mr. X was like a scary person that was going to sneak up on him one day, and Frank saw that and he liked the idea. And then later on, he saw this picture. Gee, I wanted to show it to you. It's actually a thumbnail on one of my videos, I think, of a police uniform that completely covers the person, and they have a mask on and a gun and everything, and it looks really scary. And that's how he came up with that whole uniform that he used up there at Lake Berryessa. Now, he tried to pull that thing on me in Mexico City. I've told you about that before. And, he made me stand in front of a door, and he stepped out from behind the wall with the whole uniform on that he used at Lake Berryessa. I still want to go back to that house where he used to live and see if there's any chance they have that there, and maybe he left it and they kept it. I'll buy it and bring it back. But that's in Mexico City. But anyway, what he did after I escaped, when the Anglin brothers tried to shove me in there where he was at with that uniform on, and I ducked and got away. And the next day I saw him, and he said, why don't you come on in? I'll show you how to make that mask. Like, he made it a big deal, like I was going to be really excited about seeing how to make that mask. And I told him, that ain't no big deal to me. My buddy Junior across the street made a mask like that years ago out of a grocery bag. And he goes, yeah, I know. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, no, nothing. That's Frank and his clues. But anyway, what he did was he took a grocery bag. From what he told me about how he did it, he took a grocery bag. Sometimes he would just use a grocery bag, and sometimes he would paint it black. But for the Lake Berryessa thing, now the Lake Berryessa thing, I'm going to tell you again, that was he claimed was the only time he actually used a mask. And then he hinted around about that, they'd worn it before, and he wouldn't say much about it, but it was about, he said he wore it before, but it was about, hiding their identity and confusing people, because here's a guy over here with a mask on, and, he disappears into the night, and all of a sudden he appears over here. It's one of the three guys, and they got more than one mask. But I'm thinking that the people he used that mask on never got to tell the story to anybody, because they caught him and finished him off. And that's why he didn't say much about having used the mask other times, but I do know he used it a lot in Mexico City, because I saw him sitting in stands with the Anglin brothers, all three of them wearing the mask, the night they tried to kill me after the wrestling match was over. Anyway, I've got videos on that. You can go look it up. So he takes this bag, and then he cuts out some felt and wraps around it, and he did some sewing on the felt. I'm not sure if he glued things to the bag, or if he just probably, knowing Frank, he just made a sack, and the sack would cover the mask. and that would give him what he needed. And when he wanted to pull it apart, he could crumple up the mask and stick it in his pocket and throw the bag away. That would keep people from finding out what he was doing. Now, to top that off, he had this uniform that he wore. It was kind of gray, maybe light khaki, that contained, I mean, it looked like a maintenance person, a maintenance outfit, a jumpsuit type thing. That's the picture that you'll see. If you look up the Lake Berryessa attacks, you'll see a picture. I mean, I don't know if it's in Lake Berryessa, but you look up Zodiac Killer here on the YouTube and the internet, and you'll find that picture of him standing underneath the light, a pencil-drawn picture, and he's wearing that uniform with that mask on it. Now, that's pretty much all the details that I can give you on the Zodiac Killer mask. Hope that helps.